25 quant is enough to make you a millionaire. Now in this video we're going to be reacting to the seminar with the founder of Quant, Gilbert Verdian, where he tells you all the value that Quant actually brings, the utility and how it actually came along and the outcome of Quant and how it will actually develop. I'll be telling you and giving you my live reaction to this seminar in this video. Now if you are new to the Crypto Maxi channel, subscribe and hit the bell. Also, if you do not want to miss any of the future content, trust me, you do not want to miss it, especially if you're a holder of Quant or if you're looking to be buying Quant or any other crypto out there. We're making videos on Gala, XRP, Ethereum, Solana, and so on. If you do not want to miss any of that, subscribe and hit the bell. And with that being said, again, nothing's financial advice. Everything in this video is public videos, public knowledge, and I'm just giving you my opinion towards it. And with that being said, later on in this video, I'll also be telling you, the logic and maths behind on how much Quant you would need to be buying, in this bear market to be making $1 million in the next bull. Now, with that being said, let's get into this video and let's get this reaction on the way.
The original internet was a closed network. It was few nodes, universities, governments, military connecting to each other. If something funny happened, you can actually ring up the person on the other node and say, "What are you doing?" Because your computer is doing something really weird or your network is doing something really weird. But then the internet grew, more people started using it, and we didn't know the people using it. It grew to a mass scale, and then the internet became untrusted. So we can't trust anyone on the internet because we just don't know them. So to do that, we've actually created a cybersecurity industry, which is where I come from.
And yeah, just to give some deals to that, Gilbert Verdian has come from a background of cybersecurity. He's worked in a lot of major companies. He's also worked with the Bank of England. And yeah, cybersecurity, I'm pretty sure, was his degree. I'm pretty sure it was, but yeah.
We've protected each other from each other because we've built firewalls, we've put defenses in, we've had data leakage prevention, we have antivirus, we had everything. And that's to protect us from us. And if you think about what society is, we're actually a very untrusting species. We grew up in our tribe. We knew the people around us. If someone new came, we didn't trust them. Who is that person? Why are they walking this way? So society doesn't allow us to trust each other because that's the nature of humans. So to trust each other, we've had to build government, institutions, banks, services, systems in order to do that trust and to gain that trust and to understand I can trust that other person. And that's what blockchain does. If you break down everything, forget all the crypto, forget all the technology, if you break down what blockchain does, it allows person A to trust person B because the protocol told him it's okay.
And yeah, it really just comes down to that. That's literally what the blockchain is about. Obviously, there's a lot more to it, but this is one of the ways he described it, and it does make sense. And now we're actually going to hear on how Quant fits into this.
And that's really fundamental because society can change. We can trust each other again without having to know each other. And that's what the real core essence of blockchain is. So with this technology, for the first time, we can actually honor the original vision of the internet to be a trusted network for machines and people to trust each other. So we can trust the network without the need to know and trust each other. Quite powerful. But we have a problem. Blockchains are flawed. We have a problem because blockchains are closed proprietary networks.
Yeah.
And if you look at what's happening, Ethereum is being built in isolation. Hyperledger is being built in isolation. Ripple, they're all closed proprietary networks. So whatever you do, you're only on that one blockchain.
And that's really, by the way, what Quant is going to be providing utility with. All these blockchains that are going to be in one network, really, in the Quant overledger. It's pretty much what it's going to be. And it's so appealable to, the new central bank digital currencies that are going to come along. And, I'll just shut up and we'll continue watching this video.
It's very difficult to do something on Ethereum and be recognized on Ripple and vice versa. So there's a problem because users can't connect and interact with other people on other networks. You're restricted to that network and its technology. So if you're on Ethereum, you're restricted to the technology constructs and the limits of Ethereum. You can't do anything differently. And you can't really benefit from the technology of other blockchains. And finally, you're actually locked in to fees. If the price of mining goes up, you can't change it because you're stuck in the network.
And by the way, I'm just saying about the fee parts, at the moment it's not bad, but for coins like Ethereum, for when it comes to like, not even the bull market, just when there is a really high surge of buying pressure on Ethereum or some, Ethereum ERC20 tokens, like I end up paying hundreds of dollars for a single transaction. Yes, hundreds of dollars to make a single payment transaction using the ERC20 network, the Ethereum network. And that is a massive problem, which, yeah, I think a lot of you are also aware of.
And this was the same problem that the internet had. If you're over 30 and if you're over 40, this was the internet. If you remember, you connected with your modem, with the sounds, to your provider. It was CompuServe, Prodigy, America Online. They served you their vision of the internet. This is how you did messages. This is how you did email. And the funny thing is, if you're on CompuServe and you wanted to send an email to someone outside, they charged you. It was like 5p. Did you remember that? I mean, you think about it, it's impossible to think about. So the internet used to be closed proprietary networks. Exactly the same problem as blockchain networks, closed proprietary. And then something happened. The internet opened up. All these networks connected. So openness and connectedness create innovation. And that's what happened. The internet flourished and magic happened. So the internet of today is a result of that connecting of closed networks, and that happened not that long ago. I mean, early 2000s was really when it really took off, late 90s, 2000s. And that's what we seen, and that was the cause to create the Googles and the Amazons and the Facebooks and all the internet.
Now the thing is with these seminars, right, you learn so much, because I did not know any of this, right, because obviously I was born not until after the 2000s. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of value to take away from these, even though it's, the past, the history of it, and how we actually complies with the current history. And, we're really looking at the next history of the internet with Web3 and, with what's actually going to be happening with the blockchain. And we're kind of getting a correlation from it just from this seminar. There is so many other ways we can really interpret it, but from this seminar, we get a really good example from the founder.
Companies, because of this thing, because they connected and it was open. So the question I ask is, why should you be limited to one blockchain? Why should you be stuck and limited to one single technology when there's different benefits and different blockchains that you can benefit from? So what we're saying is, why not benefit from all blockchains? And so what we've done with Overledger, it's an operating system that sits on top of existing first generation blockchains, second generation blockchains, nth generation blockchains, and interoperability blockchains, and it allows you to connect seamlessly without giving you any extra overhead, without giving you any extra consensus or cost, because it's facilitating that data transfer between networks. We're connecting and bridging networks and allowing you to do something quite unique, to create new multi-chain applications, not distributed applications, multi-chain applications. So if you think about it a bit more, we're kind of...
But yeah, guys, that's where I'm actually going to stop the reaction. Now, to finish off that reaction actually to the seminar, this, in my opinion, is the true value on the Quant Overledger and what it's actually going to be doing. It's going to be, let's say for a current Web3 based company, they're going to be, a lot of them are strictly based on either, Ethereum. So let's say a Web3 company, usually they're strictly based on the ERC20 network. Now, in this case, they are not going to be strictly, they wouldn't have to be, connected to one singular network. They could actually be connected to every single possible blockchain and really reap the rewards and the benefits, from each and every single one of these using the Quant Overledger. Now, that is so appealing actually to a lot of Web3 companies and obviously governments that will be introducing CBDCs. That's a video for another day, but it's so applicable and extremely appealing, as right now, when a Web 3.0 company is, starting up, usually they don't have a choice but to go for the most popular and safe one, which is Ethereum, the ERC20 network. But people do like, the Solana network. A lot of people like Ripple XRP, the Ripple network, Bitcoin, Stellar. There is so many good networks out there that people do like, but if they usually they have to go for that one network, and they go for the most safe and the most popular one, the ERC20 network, which really has got its own flaws with the high price fees. We already went through it. And with this, we're getting so much value with so many networks in one overledger within one, well, basically all the blockchains in one, if that makes sense, and it makes it so much seamless and better. With that being said, I did say I was going to show you the price prediction on how much Quant you would actually need to reach $1 million. Now, usually when I go through YouTube, Twitter, and so on, $50,000 Quant is a price prediction that a lot of people say. Now, this is extremely realistic, even if it is in by 2025, 2026, 2027, 28, 29, 30, it is, in my opinion, still realistic, right? It really is realistic, keeping in mind that the growth it would take makes sense, right? The percentage increase makes sense, especially if you look at the circulating supply, which makes it so appealing again. Only 12 million Quant in total supply. We're talking about couple, by the next bull market, if it breaks the ATH, which it will break most likely a couple $1,000. A increase to $50,000 really is possible, especially in the bull markets. What we end up seeing is that prices break all-time highs and go above and beyond. Let's look at Solana, for example. Before the previous bull market, so if we go on the all-time high for Solana, as it's a good example for layer one here, we're sitting at $1 to $3. It saw the first pump here, and it was on $25. After it went all the way up and done a 10x from there. So from the $1 that it was in 2020, it went all the way up to 250. That's a 250x. And yeah, sure, you could say $50,000 is a push, but for the value Quant is providing, in my opinion, is way more value than Solana, obviously. And you gotta look at the value. You gotta look at the people running it, the connections they have, how far it can actually go, and if you do the maths, if it ever reaches $50,000, 3,000 Quant would be enough. Now, this is simply a price prediction that I hear. You can see here from this comment, and it's just random comment. Again, I say it, take everything by a grain of salt, as it's just personal opinions. Your personal thoughts on Quant are sound. I totally agree with you. This is from a video of someone talking about, shout out to cryptocurrent here. But you can see here, however, there's one thing I've learned in the crypto world is that things happen much faster and prices go way higher than expected. Quant will go to 50,000 plus much sooner than you have let on. Now, even though he does say that, I want to be realistic. It might reach by 2028, 2029, 2030. But after, the introduction of CBDCs and once governments use the Quant network, we're going to be seeing billions being thrown onto the Quant coin to have actual use. And from, in this case, $3,000 worth of Quant, which is 25 coins, would be enough if it reaches 50,000, which again is realistic, even if it is in a decade. With that being said, it's been your boy CryptoMaxi. Let me know on your thoughts about this take. Again, it's an opinion, it's my personal take, and just, my personal logic. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. It's been your boy CryptoMaxi. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.